Why did you do it when you knew you had a record?
I think you're after my granddaughter because you have a problem with me. Who else knows about this?
Does that not bother anybody else?
There are limits to what I will do for money.
We're not going to be able to spend as much time together.
What can I do for you? It's Carly.
General Hospital latest update. Sonny faces a dangerous deal, Drew explodes in fury, and Sasha drops a bombshell on Jason. Meanwhile, Carly and Brennan's romance heats up as Sonny investigates a deadly threat. Emma hides a dark past, Jens loses control, and secrets unravel in Port Charles. Don't miss the drama. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers. Sidwell's offer for Sonny Drew's raging threat. Sasha confesses to Jason. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, will have an offer for Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, while Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, makes a raging threat. Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson will also confess to Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. So let's talk about what's ahead on the ABC soap. First, some suspicions will bubble up for Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy. Vaughn, Bryce Durfee, will take her away from the WSB training site, so she may wonder what's going on. However, Vaughn will ultimately end up at a cafe with Jocelyn, so he may admit she deserves a break. While Jocelyn awaits the results of all her WSB-related tests, Vaughn may spend some time getting to know her a bit better. Back in Port Charles, Lucas Jones Van Hansis will have a confession to make during his discussion with Marco, Adrian and Chando. After Lucas opens up about whatever's on his mind, it should pull Marco closer. Over with Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, he'll grow concerned when Kai Taylor, Jens Austin Astrup, hints about some news. Curtis will ask what Congressman Kane wants Kai to do this time and assume he's got a shady agenda. Kai may admit his mind is on what Drew offered to do for him instead. Drew is willing to pay for the specialist and surgery that could restore Kai's ability to play football, but Curtis may worry about Drew's ulterior motives. Meanwhile, Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, will stand up to Drew and face his furious threat in return. Drew will make it clear that Portia's going to blow her cushy life out of the water unless she continues to surrender to his blackmail demands. As for Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, he'll ask Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, an important question. After Brennan spells out how it's going to be, he'll wonder if it's something Carly can live with. Brennan may acknowledge that there are always going to be challenges in their relationship, including the naysayers and the fact that his job requires a lot of secrecy. It'll be up to Carly to decide how much she can handle, but she still seems all in on Brennan at this point. Afterward, Carly will catch up with Lucas, so they may quiz each other about their love lives after a Metro Court encounter. The Quartermaine mansion, Jason will sense that Sasha is wrestling with an issue, so he'll want to help. Sasha will admit that the problem is Jason, so she'll have to clarify what she means. Since Sasha recently talked to Felicia Scorpio, Christina Wagner, about the baby's medical file and birth certificate, she may want to discuss those things with Jason and make sure they agree on how to handle them. Sasha appreciates everything Jason is doing for her, but they need to keep the lines of communication open and maintain any independent boundaries she still wants to maintain. Jason spoke with Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, about changing his will to include Sasha's baby, but will Sasha object to that on Thursday's General Hospital episode? Whatever the case, Sasha and Jason will eventually share a sweet moment of connection, so they'll manage to get on the same page. At Windmere, Natalia Ramirez, Eva LaRue, may hide while Sidwell lets Sonny in. Sonny will no doubt want to question Sidwell following Brennan's updates on Salisky, Jeff Wolfe, who had ties to Africa along with other international locations. That could leave Sonny thinking Sidwell hired the hit since he previously had a camp in Africa, but Sidwell will insist his hands are clean. In fact, Sidwell will offer to use his resources to help Sonny find the culprit, but Sonny may give him a hard pass since Sidwell can't be trusted. General Hospital spoilers say Sonny may toss some threats around during this visit, so stay tuned for any unsettling predictions he might make about Sidwell's future if he crosses him. Today's next update, Emma's keeping a dark secret, and Jens gets scary crazy after signing a deal with deception. Today on General Hospital, Diane interviews a familiar face, Brennan has questions for Sonny, and Ezra continues to push Laura's buttons. At the hospital, Jason shows up to see Lucas. He wants to talk about Carly and this thing with Brennan, which he feels has to end. Lucas says nobody makes Carly do something she doesn't want to do, and Carly thinks she's used to this level of danger. She isn't seeing Brennan for who he is because she's falling for him. He says the guy almost got her killed, and if that isn't enough to convince Carly he's no good, he doesn't know what is. Carly wakes up in Brennan's room and finds him smiling at her. They kiss, and Carly says they need to make use of this time they have as soon Joss will be back, and Donna will also be home on Easter break. Jack feels they'll find the time for one another and kiss again. Ezra causes a stir. Down in the restaurant, Sonny meets with Laura for lunch, and Ezra confronts her for breaking bread with an alleged crime boss. Laura points out that he himself said alleged, and Sonny informs Ezra that he's being rude. Laura says they are having lunch in a public place as she has nothing to hide, and this is a private lunch. Ezra tells Laura to think of all the good she could do if she wasn't wasting time with Sonny. Ezra takes off, and Laura tells Sonny she's sorry and Ezra is a jerk. Sonny agrees but says Ezra isn't wrong. He says maybe they shouldn't be seen together in public. She argues they have no business affiliations and she has nothing to hide. They have a long history, their families are intertwined, so she won't hide from that or that they are friends. Laura changes the topic to his brother and realizes Sonny has no idea what has happened. She tells him about Rick's accident injuries as well as Liz's. She lets him know Rick's injuries are serious and he hasn't woken up. Sonny hopes he does soon for Molly's sake. Suddenly, Carly arrives on Brennan's arm, laughing. Emma's day in court. Gio comes to court to support Emma and doesn't understand why she did what she did when she had a record. She says what happened in California was stupid and embarrassing, but this was for a good cause. Gio notes he would have chained himself in her place, but she cries she couldn't let him do that as it could have ruined his scholarship. In the halls, Anna tries to talk to ADA Turner on her granddaughter's behalf and accuses her of going after Emma because she has a problem with her. Turner says this is not about who Anna chooses to associate with. This is about Emma's dangerous priors. Anna is confused. She already paid for the party in the dorms. Turner informs her that Emma was involved in a protest at the animal lab at Berkeley. That's what the university expelled her for, but they also sealed the records as to what was involved. Turner says when it comes to Emma, it seems neither of them knows who they are really dealing with. Lucy calls for a vote. In the Quartermain sunroom, Lucy sells Jens to the deception crowd. Brooke Lynn feels they should be concerned about the fact that Jens kidnapped Sasha. Tracy adds, and the explosion. Maxie says Sasha told her she feels she overacted. Lucy states that's good enough for her, but Tracy doesn't trust Jens. Lucy points out she felt the same about Sonny, and they got Natalia out of that deal. She argues if Erica Kane gets that Zinkite, she'll beat them to the punch. She calls for an immediate vote that they offer Jens a long-term exclusive contract. Lucy and Maxie are in, Natalia abstains, and Brooklyn tentatively says yes. She wants to talk to Jens again first. Tracy follows Natalia's lead and abstains, so she can't be held responsible for the consequences. Lucy suggests they go tell Jens, but Tracy says she has to go do her civic duty. Sasha arrives at Winmere to see Jens, who thanks her for talking to Maxie. Sasha wants to make sure he is not going to screw over her friends and says, unlike her mother, there are limits to what she'd do for money. She says their deal is off if he gets her friends into anything questionable. He insists he's only helping her friends get a leg up in a competitive market. She says the moment she suspects he's up to something shady. She knows someone who can keep him in line. She storms out. Diane interviews a familiar face. Marco Rios arrives in Port Charles to interview with Diane at her office. She is impressed by his resume and references and asks why he wants to move to a new law firm and give up sunny Florida. Marco isn't in love with corporate law, and he likes the type of defense law she practices. He also represents J&S Associates, which is now based in Port Charles, and is happy to bring them along with others he works with to the firm. He hands her a list of clients, and Diane is impressed. Diane tells him that he'll have to interview with her partner Alexis as well. He notices a photo on the desk and asks who it is of. Diane says it's Alexis' daughter Sam and his brother Lucas. Marco smiles. Later, Jason shows up to see Diane. He needs to amend his will to provide for Sasha's baby. Diane asks who else knows the truth about Michael and this baby. Jason says no one. He hasn't even told Carly, especially given she's with Brennan. Diane notes Carly has made bad decisions for decades, but he's always trusted her, so what has changed? Jason says the WSB is a world he doesn't know and can't provide Carly with the level of protection he's used to. Lucy, Maxie, Brooklyn, and Natalia arrive at Winmere to speak to Jens. Brooklyn asks why he wants to do business with them and not someone like Enchantment. Jens explains he doesn't want to work out of someplace like Landview or Pineview, and other families have done well for themselves here, such as Brooklyn's. Maxie has to go to an appointment at General Hospital, and Brooklyn tells her she'll keep her posted on the deal. Lucy wants to sign the deal, but Brooklyn pulls Lucy aside as a negotiation tactic to make it look like they are playing hardball. Jens reveals he's already fast-tracked the first shipment of zincite to them at his cost. Brooklyn says he has a deal. They all toast, and Natalia hurries Lucy and Brooklyn off, saying she needs to talk numbers with Sidwell. Once alone, Sidwell asks what Natalia wants to discuss. Natalia says the deal is not yet done, and her partners won't sign when they know what she knows. She knows deception is a cover for whatever he's smuggling in. She could warn them, but Jen says they'd never trust her when they find out they're exes. He suggests that if she knows what's good for her, then she'll keep her mouth shut. Emma's dark secret. Sasha and Tracy arrive at court for Emma's hearing. The judge reads the charges and Emma pleads not guilty. Given her priors, the ADA requests that Emma be held without bail. Emma's attorney argues that's excessive for a misdemeanor, and the judge agrees. Tracy stands up and says this is ridiculous. An agreement was reached with Monica and the Port Charles Land Trust, and Boyle and the construction crew had no right to be there. She shows the judge the order and claims this is all a waste of the court's time. The judge asks ADA Turner her thoughts. Turner says the order is legit, but Emma still defied the law by chaining herself to the crypt. The judge doesn't want to go to trial over this, and they'll work it out here and now. Emma agrees to change her plea to guilty and suggests community service, and the judge agrees. Anna follows Turner out of court and into the halls. Anna hopes they can make peace. Turner warns that whatever crimes Emma committed in California, they will come back to haunt her. Anna returns to the courtroom, and Tracy and Gio thank Emma for what she did. They head out, and Anna tells her granddaughter that she needs to know who these priors of hers are. Emma cries that she can't tell anyone ever, and that she had to sign an NDA to avoid jail. Jack's always on duty. Marco heads to the Metro Court, sits at the bar, and texts Lucas. He asks if he's in town, as he's at the Metro Court. Lucas is stunned to get the text. Takes Lucas a while, but he eventually arrives just as Marco is about to give up. At their table, Sonny wonders to Laura why Carly is with the guy who almost got her killed. Carly and Jack grab a table, and Jack gets a message. He excuses himself and goes over to Laura and Sonny's table. He asks to have a word with Sonny, so they step away. Carly huffs. Jack pulls Sonny to the alcove and tells him about a contract killer named Selinsky, who was found dead in his home in Toronto. He liked to use devices like the one that almost killed his son. Jack asks if Sonny knows anything about his death, and Sonny says he doesn't. Jack explains he had to ask. Sonny returns to Laura and says Brennan had some questions about someone in Toronto who he doesn't even know. Sonny says they should cut this short, thanks her for the conversation, and he heads out. Jack returns to Carly, who asks what that was all about. Jack says the WSB had business with Sonny. Carly isn't buying it, as the WSB has never been interested in Sonny. Sasha returns home and finds Jason in the sunroom. He asks if everything is okay with the baby. Jens blows his top. Back at Windmere, Jens lashes out at Natalia, saying that she was the one who divorced him and left. She screams now he's right back in her life where she doesn't want him. He grows furious and says she will never be in a position to tell him what to do, not after the spectacular way she wrecked their family. There is a knock at the door. Jens goes and answers it, and it's Sonny. On the next General Hospital, Lucas makes a confession to Marco. Curtis asks Kai what Drew wants him to do. Jack asks Carly, "Is that something you can live with?" Sasha tells Jason, "The problem is with you." Jens offers to use his resources to help Sonny find the culprit. Drew screams at Portia that he'll blow her cushy little life right out of the water. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.